simply skip the video.
Can you freaking imagine? Vlog number 51. The moment I'm in the neighborhood, it's called Pavlovo. I also lived in this neighborhood for 8 months, I think. And when it's about the vlogging number 51, and this is the message that I want to give people, there is never the best or the perfect moment to start doing things. And like my vlogging experience and project, I don't know how it's gonna end, and let's see. But the thing is, now it's day 51. What if I would have waited for the best moment, you know, that I'm in the physical best shape, that I'm in the best speaking level or whatever, and wait for it. No, people, just start doing it. Simply start doing it and fail, but fail super fast. I failed so many times in my life. I think I could win a trophy for it, but I was also a totally bold action taker without actually using all the filters that I'm sharing over here in my vlogs. You know, I'm sharing red flags when it's about people, their real intentions, people, their real skills, people, their real dedication. Dedication is actually more important for me than skills, because dedication, in the end, when things go bananas, especially when you want to upscale, and for me there is no other way than upscaling. You know, you're not starting a fucking shop just to work in your shop and slave away over there. That is out of your mind. You just build your own fucking job. And I'm saying this with all the respect, because yeah, somehow I do respect the people who put in a little bit money and then sit over there still slaving away, scrolling on Instagram or whatever, and hey, you bought yourself your own job. Congratulations. But what was I? I'm a little bit in a rattling thing, and I also noticed about my vlogging thing, this thing ticks against the camera. Yeah, so what is the overall takeaway from this first clip? Vlog 51. Like I said, people just start doing it. That is the takeaway. Don't listen to the people around you who say, yeah, maybe this, maybe that. All the negative things that maybe you will fail. Yeah, okay, you fail, but you take a couple of lessons with you. And not only that, the people who tell you that, oh, maybe you fail, you already know. Get rid of that fucking loser. And no, maybe they have the best intentions. Yeah, let's say your parents, they have some sort of the best intentions, but take a very good look at them. What are they doing? If they're successful business people, they're not gonna say, oh, what if you would fail? No, they would say, fail fast or just succeed. And you know, everybody with their first business, well, you go to hell. And I don't say this in the bad sense of the word, but you know, I don't mean it in a bad thing, but there are so many things you will learn along the way. At least I learned a lot. And especially when it's about employing people. Maybe I should talk a little bit more along the way. Now it's like every day, my day starts at 5:15. Now when I'm recording this particular clip is around 11 and 12. I always have this mental thing that I'm overloaded because I need to do a lot of stuff. And what is better than go for a calisthenics session? And I'm actually thinking, what is the best place to go? There is actually one nice place around Bojana, not the one on top of the hill, which is a beautiful place. And if you want to see it, you know, scroll a little bit back or up. I don't know how it works on the device that you use, maybe on a laptop. Just go to the history and look for something that looks like Bojana. Anyway, I'm considering to go to Bojana next to the museum. It's a museum. Don't ask me what's the name of the museum. I think it's a history museum, but I am not the kind of guy who hangs around in museums. Not yet. Maybe if I'm a little bit older, you know. I'm now 46. Still got, okay, end of the year I will be 47, so probably I got 53 years to go. And I said this once to a person, and he said, yeah, but what if you don't make it? Yeah, so there is no negative effects for you or for other people for it. And for me, well, then it's game over, right? It's simply game over. So let's close this clip with the thought: if you got something in mind, prepare a little bit, do not overthink it, start fucking doing it. Just start doing it. But one piece of advice: look for products or services that have a little bit of bigger margin than the average commodities. You know, don't get into retail too easily. You know, try to create some sort of an experience. Create very nice sales environments. Also, the people that you're gonna hire, they need to be hyperactive. No druggies. I used to hire in one of my shops fucking people who are high. That's all fake energy. That's also fake intentions. Fake. Everything is fake. And that also ended up very bad with multiple people. Anyway, that's a different story. Start doing it. Get rid of the people who say you might fail, and the people who are successful and, you know, do very good in life. Like I always say, successful people, no. Oh yeah, weak people, because I made a little quote about this. Weak people will pull you down, and strong people will pull you up. And it's actually a beautiful thing, because there is no negative thing about it if you think about it like this. They just want to pull you to their position. Think about it. Weaker people, and they're on, let's say, the lower, right? And you know what? They are lower. They want to pull you towards them. The strong people want to pull you, you know, to their position, and maybe even better. So mutual benefits. And in the end, you know, they just want to have you around you, like a comfort zone for them. It justifies their own thing. Think about that for a little while. If you really think about it, and not one of those people has actually really bad intention, but for you as a person who wants to do more, I would choose for the people who try to pull you up. And not only that, you will also, I had a thought, I was actually traveling to Pavlovo because I came from the mineral waters, because I'm a mineral water junkie. And I had a thought about when people actually challenge you. And when it's about challenging, I remember so many conversations when people try to challenge me. Weak people, they had very, 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 very tiny body languages. They had, first of all, the smirking smile. A smirking smile, which is not a genuine smile. It does not, you know, it's not congruent with the eye, little tiny things. They're not genuinely. They just want to test you and hear you out and see and hear your ridiculous ideas, so they can ridicule you, or I don't know how to pronounce it, to make fun of you when you walk away. I had this several times. And at that time I took it personally. I took it very personally, and I walked away, actually angry. But you know, those same people who make fun of other people, they will be doing next week the same stuff. They will be doing next year the same stuff. After 15 years, they will be doing the same stuff, and after 50 years if they're still alive with their unhealthy behavior. Because no matter what, it's better to act positive, people. And perhaps you think, the way you talk, that sounds very negative. No, it's not. My talks are for people who want to do something in life and don't want to get influenced by all those negative, little tiny smirky people. And again, the stronger people, they will challenge you, give you feedback, maybe give you some direction, and not only that, they would love to see you succeed. That makes them happy. Think about what I'm saying, huh? Really think about it. Test the people around you. Just come up with some projects. Just discuss it, and let's see which one of the people you can filter out straight away. Kick them to the curb. And yeah, I understand. Some people say, I know the guy for ages. Well, I knew several people for ages, but the moment that things went bananas, poof, poof, poof. They're like a flea on a dog. And when there is, I don't know what, you spray the dog and all the fleas, they just tip, 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 gone. That happened to me when I lost everything in Holland. Tip, tip, tip. In Holland, it's like this. When the fridge is full, your house is full. And when the fridge is empty, well, the house is very empty. And that is a lesson that I learned, that you have to be very, very careful with the people that you choose, because there are only a few people left, And if I would have been more selective, more harder also on the people that I hired, I would have been probably in a way much better position. And not only that, it would also be maybe too comfortable for me, and I wouldn't make this kind of vlogs. And it's not only about that I lost everything when I was 30. I lived my whole life. It was one big rodeo, one big roller coaster of also a lot of emotions, which I have peace with in the most peaceful way, but which I'm very happy with. And that's also probably the reason that I can talk about everything. I can talk about everything. Of course, here on YouTube I have my limits, definitely my limits, because I don't know, I don't want that let's say after vlog 500 that everything gets cancelled or banned, because I also really want to talk about other stuff. But I try to find my voice that fits in also the regulations and the terms and conditions and of YouTube. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Just start doing and test a few of the people around you. It's gonna be nice. And trust me, most people hang around. One other thing, I think that, and I thought about it a few days ago, that is also a beauty. If you look at people, groups, in general, they have always something in common. Same haircut, same dress up style. And if you're one of those people, and you probably know what I'm talking about, suits, walk with suits, I don't know what. If you see me walking with other people, I never look like them. And it's not only because, you got tattoos on your thing. I also don't walk around with people who tattoos, and I just wear what I want to wear. I'm not dressing up. And also everything is brandless. You cannot see any brand besides my shoes, because if they would make very good shoes in Bulgaria, I would wear them, but they simply don't. The rest is all from Bulgaria, and you cannot see the brand, which I really like. Okay? I'm not following the trends. Another trend also once when this Will Smith movie came out, Man in Black, or was some kind of other movie that people wear those dark frame glasses. You look like, when you go to the fun store, carnival store, I don't know how you say it, party store, you can buy those black glasses with those big noses, right? So you understand what glasses I mean. All of a sudden people wear those glasses, and the Conor McGregor beard. You can see exactly who is a follower and a consumer. And all of a sudden they wear beards. When I was my age, 18 or something, I never saw people with beards, and all of a sudden people have fluffy beards, and I don't know what. Nothing against beards, but it's more or less who is following and who is leading, you know, and this is also a beautiful one. And I mean, I know a lot of very wealthy people. If you would see them walking, they would pretty much walk around like me. Just a white t-shirt, no weird beards, just clean shaven, taking care of themselves, smell good, look good, and they don't have to show off with an imitation Gucci bag or whatever. And again, I got nothing against it, but and there are levels to the game. What is important to you? You know, is it important to you to show other people that you have the latest and the fastest Apple thing, and you have to sit in one of those famous coffee shops, I don't know, Starbucks, and flap open your Apple thing? First of all, I wouldn't know what you would do with all the speed, because I know most people that I know that own Apple things, yeah, they say the speed is great and all the other stuff. I don't know how much speed you need. I do everything from the phone. If my phone could be a little bit, but no, actually not. The speed for me is good enough. So, you know, I know that those other products are way much faster. But what are normal people doing with all that speed? You know, do you need to fill up Google Sheets 1,000 times faster? I don't believe it. If those people could work those tools in the most optimized way, then I would say let's talk, because then your brain works a little bit above average, and I love that. People who are obsessed. And again, like the Jim Carrey quote, if you're interested in what you're doing, then you're interesting to watch. And it always sticks in my mind, and I think it's a beauty. You know, look at people who speak in the most boring way, with their hands in the sleeves. They're totally not interested in what they're doing, or at least they try to pretend. So again, pretending is another red flag, right? Get rid of people who fucking pretend. Get rid of them. Keep your circle clean. That's also how you keep your life very optimized. Keep your circle clean. Kick them out. Maybe it hurts a little bit in the beginning. You know, you would say, I'm actually thinking the way to get out of here. You know, maybe you will have some heartache, and you will say, yeah, I'm gonna miss him or her. Now you know what? Missing is just a tiny time frame. That also will pass. The bad times, the good times, fuck off. And the thing is, the amount of time that you will actually miss them and start realizing that they didn't put any kind of value in your life would be way much shorter than the amount of time that you will need to actually recover from things that they will cause along the way when you're going to succeed, or that when you succeed, you know, people will take, you know, they're like cockroaches. Your contacts, your money, your time, and in the end, you never did enough. Really think about it. In the end, you will never do enough. Is everybody like this? No. But the amount of people who are very grateful for things, you can test them. Give them small gestures. Make food for them. Just small, humane gestures. See, my level of gratitude for the people that I dearly care about is always genuine, first of all. I never act just to lick ass, because if I don't like the food or whatever, I say it. And everybody knows that I actually sit in the kitchen with. But test people. Just test them. Little tiny test. Oh, you feel that it's according to you a little bit disrespectful? Then it probably is. Never underestimate your own gut feeling. And then of course your heart starts to play up a little bit. Yeah, but I know him or her such a long time. But also don't forget this, people change. People change. With or without you. Which means if you see a person 1 or 2 times a week That is around 110 times a year. You think, you know, and that is only maybe probably a few hours. How well do you know what's going on over here? You're not. The mind of a human works in mysterious ways, and how I like to see the mind of a human, it's like the universe unexplored. And you know, not the people take a lifetime to figure out, and me too, figuring out a lot of stuff, and in the end we probably die in the grave figuring it out. And then you think you understand another person. I think there are characteristics, some sort of, I see them as like those things on the road with the direction things. That's the only thing you can actually quote unquote label a little bit characteristics, and then put people a little bit on the in the pyramid. This one is so important for this, you know. Play with the elements, and not with the elements, the things that life gives you, and try to really be, yeah, I really don't know how to say it at this moment, but try to find the most optimized way for yourself that keeps you in the first place happy, but also fulfilled. Happiness comes from fulfillment, I think. I think it's more important to feel fulfilled at the end of the day, and that makes you happy. Happy is not in the first place the thing to chase, because that's actually a very, very weird label for a state of mind, right? Happy, what is happy? You are happy. Happy with what? Fulfilled, feeling fulfilled, that is a different kind of story. Anyway, that's why everyday discipline. And 2 days ago I did not do the calisthenics. I skipped one day. I do this 5 times a year, maybe even less, that I don't do calisthenics. Next day I felt out of my balance. Just a little example. Yes, I train pretty much every day, every single day. Not pretty much, I train every day. But yeah, think about those things. Discipline, I think, is also the basis to create a good level of energy, positive energy, because not only discipline makes you feel good, perhaps look good, and also makes you feel proud of yourself. Even everything goes to hell, you know. I had times, the longest time that I couldn't eat was for 4 days, because I lost everything again. But this is external factors. Anyway, not blaming it on anything. I made the decision to actually get in contact with so many people, and that's why I'm also on a higher alert now. But not that I'm paranoid. I love to talk with any kind of person, but I'm looking for those small things that I would say, oh, I see your red flag, a little bit more distance. Not even talk about business, not talk about projects or ever. So I put them on the right spot for me, that they not become a danger, because they don't know even, most people don't even know what they want. Never forget this, by the way. And if you would suggest something and they want it all of a sudden, it's just an emotion, temporarily, you know. Longevity, that is also one very important sign for me. So when it's about messaging, some people have short amounts of time, very intense, you know, every day sending messages or whatever, and then it slows down because they don't get rewards. And people who don't get rewarded quickly. So for me, I'm the opposite. I'm always in for the long term. And one girl was actually, I asked, okay, in the most polite gentleman way, 35 times in a row to go for a coffee. And only a coffee. But the thing is, along the process, you become a better person. You test yourself. Be patient. Not too patient, put in the work, level up your value. It's not only from a coffee. Then I learned how to make it more detailed at one point. Yes. So you learn. And it's the same also with failing relationships, right? I had a boatload. But still, every time when it goes to hell, I always think I'm gonna be a better man for the next one, because I do. I learn from it, and I don't have anything against any of them. Nothing. Sometimes it simply doesn't work, especially when you're an obsessed person with constantly growth and everything, because you change. And if you meet people, and a lot of women, and with all the respect to them, you know, they want to settle down at one point, relax, but still hire strippers before they get married. Yeah, relax, duh. They just want to be comfortable. That is all fine, but there are people who are going till the end of days for discomfort and creating more and more value for other people. Yeah, that is the category that I fall in, and those people are pretty rare, especially when it's about women. Yeah, it's nothing against women. I would say we all love women, but it's also not true. We're not getting into this topic as well, neither. And I'm already rattling for, I think, 20 minutes. I'm now walking to Buxton, and I'm going to the mall to work a little bit over there, and then I'm going to train. Yeah, that's pretty much it for now. Over there behind me, the Vitisha mountain. If you watched my previous vlogs, then you say, hey, I recognize the name Vitisha. I recognize the mountain. So, and if you don't, subscribe, help me out. I got only 312 at the moment. So, yeah, ciao for now. In the previous clip I said I need to do calisthenics first, which I did not, because I went to the mall first and do a lot of editing and chats. Now I'm a little bit, my mind is running over. But see, and this is now something that I want to share. For example, you have to go to your boss, to your work, and you would feel a little bit stressed out. You cannot train, at least not on your own terms and at your own time. Think about that. Think about it for a little while, because you have to do at least for maybe 8 hours in a row, probably even longer, you know. And there is always a cap, which means you're probably never gonna earn more than $1 million a month, unless you're, anyway, most people who do 95, they don't, but anyway, me also not yet. The thing is, this is now the thing where I want to share. If you would start building now those social media audiences, and I'm gonna explain this a little bit more to the basic, to the that even a 12-year-old can understand. So, for example, you build or buy or start a retail store. What do you do first? A store and products. And the audience, you depend on it. You depend on audiences. What do we do by building audiences? We own the audiences first, and then we create the products based upon feedback of the audience. And then you might think, oh, Dahlan, my store has incredible food traffic, you know, with feet. Yes, great, but you also pay for that up front. And before you actually, and this is another thing, when it's about foot traffic, 99% of all retail businesses and 95% of restaurants, also 99 actually, I think, there's only, I don't know, one restaurant who does it the right way. The thing is to retain clients, databases, build them so you can burn down that shithole what you call a retail store. It's only for building that client database, nurture those leads, and actually convert them and do a lot of cross-marketing. What the hell does that mean, Dollar? Well, for example, you're in real estate, you sold them a fucking house. What do they need? Maintenance, kitchens, floors. Who sell those floors, kitchens? Kitchen companies. Make deals with those kitchen companies and provide value to your list. It's called an email list, people. When you get people on your email list, you can provide them value. Or roof repairment, etc., etc. You understand where this goes, right? It's called cross-marketing, people. Not only you provide more value for you as an authority person, but also you help other businesses. Where is the negative part? Well, in the beginning you need to learn how to sell those people that they actually give you the email, give you a like on Facebook pages and that kind of stuff. And don't come up with the bullshit like a 10% discount. Nobody's gonna give you an email. And because I was a little bit pissed off, it was half a year ago. Big company, they have everywhere shops all over Sofia. And they said, yeah, Dahlan, we tried to build an email list. But the thing is, a 10% discount on a bullshit offer that nobody cares about. And not only that, they didn't put incentives for the people who work in the store. Let's say if you put 25 today on a list, 50 on a list, you get a percentage of this and this from the daily sales. Yeah, but that's already getting too complicated, though, because then the accountant, he doesn't know how to do that. Oh, okay, no, good for you. Get the hell out of there. Fire the fucking asshole, because he's anyway stealing from you. Accountants are good for one thing and one thing only. You need to throw in your ideas, they need to calculate how profitable it is, and next to that, most accountants don't have a clue about marketing strategies, growth strategies, and especially nurturing and returning customers and blah blah blah. The only thing that they need to do is calculate if the numbers will fit, and you need to chew it for them. What if this? What if that? What if this? What if this? And if we do this, how are we then? And in the end, maybe in the minus 5%. But if you're in the minus 5% and you get for each minus 5% 1 or 2 leads that are on your list, it's an investment, people. And then you ask, this investment, is it tax deductible, etc. Just put the fire on their, I don't know how you say it in English, put the fire on their fucking knees. And if they don't answer the questions the way you want, fire them. Dig out the best accountant that you can find for the most reasonable price. It's another thing. We worked with one fucking idiot over here. He's doing a lot of things for digital nomads. Also totally bullshit. But anyway, besides that fucking idiot, he did something for a contact of mine, totally no friend anymore because he was a total idiot. The thing is, he did this, then he decided to raise the prices sky high. Yeah, because that fits my audience. Yeah, that is also nice, you selfish son of a bitch. Business and long-term relationships are not based upon only dragging out the fees, upfront fees. It's about what you bring to the table. The guy also didn't bring anything to the table. If I would see him, no, I wouldn't do anything to him, but ridiculous guy. But you can also see his lifestyle. He depends on sometimes showing pictures on social media of him sitting on a fucking boat. But hey, with all the respect, life quality is more important than dragging out other people their money. And somehow everything is related. The energy that you burst out, because the energy that he was bursting out, I need more money, so I'm raising my fee, and I don't give a shit if you continue with me or not. Bad energy, people. Now, yeah, I'm gonna describe him. He has a very fluffy beard. He's getting bald. His teeth are almost falling out. He has a big beer belly, and the only thing that he has, now yeah, with all the respect, yeah, anyway, you know where this goes. And I do believe when you have good intentions, genuine good intentions, people always coming back with more. And I'm gonna give you an example from my own life. Every time when I say something, I'm speaking from reality. And not only that, I will drag a lot of people also through the fucking mud along the way, because they make money, okay, but it ripple affects another thing. Your relationship, the way you look like. Because if you don't have genuine interest in other people, I do believe it also ripple effects in your own health. Because you're always looking at yourself in the mirror. So, one example, I had a small store, I couldn't hold a lot of stock. And if I didn't have a specific product, you know, I was in a grow shop business, we sold everything to grow marijuana inside and outside. And if I didn't have the product, I just sent them to the competition. Competition, quote unquote, happy. Also not the most appreciative people, but that is not my thing. But you know, that was also in a small city. You know, with all the respect, the thinking over there was so small, and that's why at one point also started driving a lot around Holland, looking for better talent. But even Holland, when it's about Holland, we did massive things, which I'm not going to talk about now. If we sometimes kept our products from the market, the price for only 1 or 2 days, the price raised. Says a lot, I think, about, because there was at my time 17 million people. Yeah, small amount. Anyway, besides that, so where was I? Yeah, doing good for the clients. And next to that, I always did on Fridays, and not only on Fridays, multiple times per week actually, barbecues, you know, chicken, beer, yeah. So really helping out people. And again, to get back to the email list, you know, build first your audience. You're anyway doing your 9 to 5, build your audience. And I explained this before, how to do it. If you don't know how to do it, or you cannot find the vlog, and you just reach out. With the thing is, I will ask you, how long did you look for it? Because how much do you want it? And you start building the audiences, and you probably understand by now how important it is to have the audience. You know, like I said, you can buy a retail store, and then depend on the foot traffic, and not building an email list, not building a fucking social media audience on that business. And it doesn't matter what kind of business you're in, just build those audience and burn down the fucking place. Serious. If you get for 365 days a retail store, you can have a great amount of people on your list. Those are audiences that you can provide value to, you know. And it's not all about products, because I know also from people, especially real estate people, the only thing that they send out are offers. There's no value in it. Offers. It's like, do you know those brochures from the supermarket they throw into your mailbox? Same thing. What do you do with it? You throw them away most of the time. And be very honest about it. But if you see the guy, let's say, when we talk about the supermarket thing, and they have an inside bakery thing, how nice it would be, and that you can see on the TikTok live that they make the bread. Background story, people. Story, humanity. That's where fulfillment comes from in the first place, and the rest follows. I'm totally not a believer in chasing the money, only chasing the money, and in general. And that's again mixing up people. So, for example, with mixing up people, I mean, you know, I used to hire so-called friends. They had normal jobs, and also people who never saw particular amounts of money. They thought, oh yeah, I can do the same. And the thing is, they focus on the money, greedy. And also when they see you doing it so easy, they don't put in the effort. Hey, how much effort did he actually put in it to get to this point that he makes it looks easy? You know, that's another thing. So there are a lot of things you should be very careful about, people. But the main takeaway from this particular clip: don't chase only money. And if you got clients like this fucking accountant, he wasn't my accountant. If he would be mine and he would treat me like this, I would bash him in the fucking face. Not anymore now. I'm a little bit more relaxed, but that kind of disrespectful behavior is, yeah, that is not my, and let's say it the English way, my cup of tea. No, not at all. Anyway, I need to release some stress here on the calisthenics spot. So that's what we're gonna do now. We're again in the Rakowski Stadium, as you probably recognize by now. And if you don't recognize it, you haven't seen my previous vlogs, where I'm also explaining the thing how to build an audience the most basic way. And again, people don't focus on the money, focus on the fact that you build something for yourself. You replace some mindless scrolling with building something for yourself. Again, building something for yourself, but you replace 1 hour of those 3 to 5 hours per day that you mindless scroll. And again, when it's about the mindless scrolling, you know what is gonna be on your graveyard stone? He scrolled his life away, but he could have built audiences and actually monetize those, so he could replace his job, or at least have an extra income to take his wife for a fucking dinner a little bit more often. Anyway, let's keep it like this. I'm gonna get rid of some, I need to empty my head. That's what we're gonna do. Finished. I'm actually taking a look over there. I don't even know if it's some kind of hidden path. Let's see. You know, that's always the thing about Sofia, and there are always tiny little corners that I discover still after so many years in Sofia. And when I lost everything and I came to Sofia, actually my ex, the thing is, what I did in the beginning, because I pretty much had to figure out ways, is walking a lot. And so I pretty much discovered everything, let's say as much as I could, but still up till today, every time you discover new places, new streets, there are a lot. And anyway, so I emptied my head by doing the calisthenics basic routine, dips, pull-ups, and of course everything in the most perfect possible, how do you say this, execution form possible. And every time I'm very focused on doing it better, more stretched, especially when it's about the dips plus knee raises. And I want to make a video about it because there are not a lot of people talk about the forms and also the result. You know, for me, I don't need to swing like a wild monkey on the thing. And because in general, with all due respect, of course there are exceptions, but the majority of those swinging baboons, with all respect, you know, they're very skinny guys. And for me, I like to sculpt the body in a shape that it's, quote unquote impressive, but also that people can see, you know, that there is something else going on when it's about discipline. And this is important for me, especially when I meet new people. Is that to impress them? No, not at all. It's to make some sort of, it's some sort of a backup thing with the things that I'm saying, because I level up always my talks along the way, and you need to somehow somewhat back it up. But even people from the supermarket, they actually tried, or they asked me if they could train. And when it's about training, many times I took people over here in this stadium, and I did it maybe 1 or 2 times, and then I figured out that it's actually real work. And the moment that you touch the steel, you understand it's not bending. It looks all nice on the videos, cozy from your living room, but the moment that you touch the steel, and not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 1,000 times, and in the end, before you die, maybe 1,000,000 times. And that's the thing, because I know, because I wasted time on those people, and now I'm also very careful with who I'm with. So if I spend 1 hour with somebody to explain my strategies and I only do it once, yeah, hello. If they would commit to it, I don't have to train them every time. But if they show after 1 month results, after half a year, I'm still doing it, Dahlan. See, that's a whole different thing. Then I'm willing to even, I'm not charging anything. But those people who did it once, and now I know they have beer bellies around behind their ears. You understand what I mean with this, right? If they would have done it, keep on doing it. And that's with another person like this. And as always, I share things out of experience and never read things from books that I'm then sharing with you like it's my own experience. No, I know people, people who came in the beginning. That was maybe even 10 years ago. And then we talked about projects. But of course, people feel a little bit enthusiastic. And enthusiasm is just a normal people emotion. It's temporarily, and they're not disciplined actions. So this is the thing. One guy, and I had a long talk with him, not gonna mention his name, but he probably understands that it's about him. We talked about e-commerce, I think 10 years ago, and it was around an Amazon thing. We did the Amazon thing, but Amazon fees are so high and you don't control the data. But the thing is, if he continued by keep on doing it, keep on trying, keep on solving the problems along the way, he did not have to work for a boss. But when it's about the red flags, and I mentioned this one before, his first girlfriend, he is still with her, actually decided all his actions. So which is red flag. Men who don't control their own life, never do business with them, because they're always looking for an excuse. Always an excuse. No, I cannot go out. No, I cannot do this. No, these problems are very big. It's gonna involve my family. Fuck off. Like I said in other videos, I don't give a shit about your family. When we make a deal, the deal is closed. And with this kind of dedication, I went into a lot of ventures that other people simply bailed out. And still I need to clean up stuff from other people. And where are they now? Just sitting in front of the television. But the thing is, along the way, after a few years, But anyway, I'm already living a life of freedom. The only thing I need to solve some very big obstacles, but yeah, that's the price you pay, right? Adversities are coming, and we have to knock them over one by one. Patience, persistency, and along the way growing the relationships to solve those problems, make the relationship stronger, provide value. And some people just pop up once in a while and they ask, share your story with me. Why? Because I'm a source of entertainment in your boring life? What are you going to bring to the table? Several people asked me, can you share the story with me? I will share the story online, but it's just a one-time story, and I know some people will get value from it, but I don't have to put in emotional effort. I don't have to put in, you understand, it's just dropping the content and it will over time millions of views. So I don't have to tell people a million times in the hope that 1 or 2 people actually do something with it. And that's the thing about YouTube videos or videos in general, right? You just speak it, you upload it, and ciao for now. And what somebody else does with it, yeah. Some people are reaching out, by the way. And also on Rumble, I got way much more views on Rumble. I don't know why, but I don't know why. I'm actually thinking about the song, but I don't know which one. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The thing is, we keep on moving faster and faster every day. And now that I trained, you know, my head is clean again, we go to the second step. And I actually and today actually it's Saturday. Totally don't have the feeling that it's somehow Saturday. And now that I think that it's Saturday, maybe it's also time to eat something. Maybe drink a beer. Maybe say hello somewhere, but I don't know where yet. Anyway, stop rattling and additional thought on the previous clip. Whatever you do and you want to see results, you have to do it bold and non-stop and break through the so-called boredom, right? Because at one point the things that I'm doing, I enjoy it, but the thing is also when it's about the calisthenics thing, you know, I said, you know, the other people that they now fat, they even grow beer bellies behind the ears. You understand what that means? The thing is, if they would have done it, they would actually be probably way much more ripped than I am, because they are 10 years younger, but now they look 10 years older. But the thing is, and it's also with business ventures, relationships, you have to keep on doing it. So for example, any kind of a meeting that I have with people, they know, and let's say on a more regular basis, they know I always say something that makes them think. You know it's true, if you're watching me. You know it's true. Every time when I come, I say something that makes you at least think about stuff. And also when it's about, if you do something, do it all the way, no matter what you do. You know, if you have a retail store or whatever, just try to monetize it the most optimal way. And that's what I also try to make clear to a lot of people with normal stores. Don't slave away in it. Make sure that the business works for you and you not for the business, because that's the wrong way, and you could better be an employee. Probably it's even more easier. And no, you're not free because you sit every day over there. Most business owners, they do. They have to, because they don't run the business. They're not even the business. They're just the employee. So it's some kind of universal thing that you actually serve. And you don't serve the people because you don't serve them the most optimal way, because people can look for all kind of excuses. Yeah, but I cannot afford this. Yes, you can, just figure it out. What else? I don't know how to do it. That is the easiest one. I figure it out. I don't have a mouth and I don't know how to use it. Okay, see, now we're getting somewhere. Now you turn it into an that you admit a mistake. You don't know how to use it. Well, you got also a brain. Not everybody knows how to use it. Like I also mentioned it multiple times, if you cannot figure it out, sit in the dark with a pen and paper. Yeah, but then I don't see anything. First 2 hours, just think about the problem. Then list down, turn a little bit of light on, you smart asses, and write down all the possible solutions. And then you think about which one should you try first. And then you contact your quote-unquote friends and you ask, what do you think about this? And don't ask idiots around you who never actually do something. So ask people like me. who had a colorful life and still solve a lot of problems for a lot of other people. So yeah, think about it. So, moral of the story, if you do something, do it all the way, or simply don't do it. And when you simply hang in the middle, mediocre, you end up with a job that you bought yourself for a couple of grand. I don't see what is more logical. You work for somebody else and you actually earn some money, or you buy your own fucking job. Yeah, but it increases in value. Yeah, how much years? So how many years? So let's say you buy something for 50 grand, right? And then after 10 years you sell it for 75? Yeah, but there's a lot of goodwill. It depends. The thing is, we bought once a bar for, no, I'm not getting in those numbers, but yeah, that was ridiculous nice. We did well, and in the end fucked up because the government started throwing a lot of dust in my eyes. But it's also another story. One of those things was also, I lived at one point with my Bulgarian girlfriend at that time, now ex, and they gave me fines for her every single week. I don't remember how much it was. I think it was 750 euros every month. But yeah, those things start to add up, and if you combine it with a lot of other dumbass stress, I didn't manage my life at that time very well. I'm going on the bus. No, on the tram. 17 minutes, so I just walk a little bit. And over there is South Park, over there. So you get already very familiar over here, I think, in Sofia. If you watch my vlogs every single day for the rest of your life. And maybe you start doing something. You know, maybe you can get rid of your boss and give him the middle finger. Okay, anyway, ciao for now.